Well, hello everybody. Pastor Randy here. Welcome to Making It Simple. Hope you're doing great on this beautiful Thursday. So glad to be with you. We've been talking about going from dark to light. Yesterday, we ended off the conversation by talking about focus. Focus, as I said, it means to produce a sharp or clear image. In order to do that, we've got to be able to see. We've got to be able to have clear direction, meaning I know where I'm going. Oftentimes in the darkness, we get addled. We get that point of hopelessness or fear overwhelms us, anxiety, and we're not able to clearly focus on what direction we're going. And in some cases, no direction at all. James says, count it a joy. That's difficult. Thinking about joy and difficulties all in the same place. He said, count it a joy. Know this. It'll end well. Well, Pastor, that seems awful presumptuous. That's one of those easier said than done type things. I'm not disagreeing with you. But think about what he's saying here. He's given some incredible insight. He's saying, but as that word is placed there, it simply means hang on. Hold on just a second. Let me explain a little further. Let patience have her perfect work. He's speaking of this, and I think this is very important in today's time. Don't grow discouraged. Don't give up. Don't throw in the towel, regardless of the issue in hand. Again, much easier said than done. I've been there. It's a true literal fight. It's not even really a wrestling match of a tussle back and forth. It's a knockdown, drag out fight. But here's the thing. If we know Christ, if He is our Lord and Savior, if we have come to embrace the gift that He's given, remember who we serve. Remember who we trust. And remember His promise to never, never leave nor forsake. Here James says, this is the intended result. He's saying, hold on, let patience have its work. Let patience have its perfect work, that you, here's the promised result, may be perfect, entire, and wanting nothing. That's a lot to take in all at once when we begin to understand exactly what is being said here. These last three words, perfect, entire, wanting nothing, these last few words here, when we think of the word perfect, by our definition, we think of something that is flawless, something that has no faults, it has no imperfections. And we think of, well, I can't be perfect, nobody's perfect. That's not what it means in this context. It's talking about being made whole, being made complete. It said, let patience have its perfect work. Allow the process of maturing to take place, the process of being fully developed in order to have the strength that we need. This says that you may be perfect, prepared, ready, is all he's talking about. Full, complete, ready to go. Entire. Again, ready for battle. Ready for whatever storm comes your way. He said, when we allow the things of God to work in our life, when we allow patience to have its perfect work, sometimes patience, we all fall short with that, right? But in the midst of that, what are we doing? We're either growing positively, and in many cases we're growing angry. Which one produces something? The anger produces nothing. It oftentimes only steals and robs and destroys. Whereas patience that produces something positively, that says, well, no, I don't like waiting, but the end result is worth it. It's kind of like cooking a meal. You don't want it to take an hour to make the cake or whatever, but boy, oh boy, is it good when it's done. Sometimes life is that way. It takes a while to get there. For some it takes a little bit longer because of our own choices that we make, the own pathways. He said, let patience have its perfect work. Let it help you. Let it allow the process of maturing. Allow it to work us to get us to where we're supposed to be so that we can be perfect, ready, entire, complete. In other words, be made whole so that whatever comes our way, we're prepared. Even if we're not ready for it. It's like knowing that a loved one is going to pass away. We prepare ourselves for that. We're never ready for the moment when it actually happens because of the emotional side of that. But we're prepared to move beyond that. When we don't prepare, we're devastated. And we don't know which end is next. And many people are struggling with that today. And I hope that you hear this. There is an answer. When we understand the reality of life, we understand that it's real. It happens. And regardless of where we are, what we are, title, position, wealth, and none of that matters. Nobody's exempt. Just like I said in the lesson the other day, no one is exempt. But what we have to understand is God also understands the reality of life. He's saying, I want to help you. I want to help you to be ready. I want to completely equip you for this battle. I want to help you to get through it. This doesn't tell us anything about the level of difficulty, but rather what it's telling us is it really doesn't matter about the level of difficulty. He said, I will help you be ready. When we prepare for a test, what do we have to do? We have to study, right? When we prepare for a contest, some type of physical thing, what do? We train. We get stronger, have better endurance. Whatever the issue is, God is saying to you, I want to help you. I want to help you. I don't want to just give it to you because then you don't appreciate it, number one, and you didn't do anything to prepare for it. You still may not be ready. You could be placed in the main event of the card, but if you don't know how to do the performance, if you don't know how to sing the song, if you don't know how to work the match, if you don't know how to do whatever the main event is, whatever people, jump the bus, whatever people bought the ticket for, then you weren't ready. Therefore, you don't need to be in that position. Oftentimes, we're not ready in this life because we've done nothing to prepare. This is what James is talking about. Difficulties prepare us. He said, count that as a joy. When we look at it from that perspective, it's like, wow, I'm glad I get to learn. It was not easy, but now I'm able to do it. God is saying, I want to help you be ready, but that requires us to not just have a level of trust in Him, but a relationship. And for all of you who know me, you know that's my core teaching is relationship with Christ. And He said, if you don't have a relationship with me, you won't trust me. That is vital that we understand that. Because in this relationship, if we have one that is firm and is strong and completely invested in, then we know He won't do us wrong. These last few words, perfect, entire, wanting nothing. In other words, lacking nothing. Nothing is missing. I've given you everything. I've prepared you for everything coming your way. He's saying, I want all your puzzle to fit. I want you to have all the right pieces to that puzzle. I want it to be entire. I don't want any part to be missing. When our spiritual maturity, if it's growing, there's times, and we know this is what this whole entire lesson has been about, there's times that it's tested. We see in this passage, we're given an assurance that dark times are going to come. But how do we get from that dark to the light? How do we get to that place? It's understanding that there was a reason for the darkness. I put me there. I allowed someone else to put me there. There's all kinds of different reasonings that we could find. But here's the thing. Don't waste time with that. Let's see what is the lesson here and how do we move past it to get from the dark to the light. Because when I trust Him, not only will I be able to come through it, I'm going to be better on the other side of it. I'm going to be stronger because of that moment. In conclusion, we can see two things. And this is the finality of this lesson, and then we'll see what the Lord leads us to next, because I love teaching all these different things that make us think. There's two parts of this. Number one is for the believer. Many times, many times, we face the battle. It's kind of a continuality. It's always there. We face the battle, and in the process of that, we think we failed. In fact, oftentimes we strongly feel that we failed. Somehow we lost, or we walked away feeling defeated. God is saying to all of us today that know Him, that are struggling with that, I didn't climb that mountain. I didn't get the. He's saying, I'll take you through the fire. I'll take you through the fire. I'll take you, be with you through the fire. In other words, you tried it alone. It didn't work. Go with me. I'll take you. And not only will I see you through, but I'll be with you every step of the way. If you're struggling with anything today as a believer, any battle that you may be facing, God is saying, I'm there with you. Count it a joy. Count it a joy when you fall into diverse temptations, when you fall into these struggles. And remember, I'm there with you. The joy is not the enjoyment of the moment. It's the learning of it. It's the gratefulness of it, being able to look at it from a different perspective. And in the end, we celebrate together. That's what God is saying. I want to be with you in that moment. We've got His promise. That's the first side. The other side is for the one who is yet to come. The one who is the non-believer, if you will. The one who is the skeptic. The one who says, well, I don't know. If you're listening today, if someone has shared this with you, let me say, when you face life and everything that comes with it, you're overwhelmed sometimes with this question: how is this possible? How can I do this? How in the world can anybody deal with this much stress, this much whatever? The greatest trial ever faced, hear me, the greatest trial ever faced by anyone was the trial of the cross. The trial of the cross was set before Jesus. Not only did He endure that, He came out of it on the other side victorious. And the reason He did that was so that you can have the same victory. Believer, non-believer alike, don't forget that. Embrace that and rejoice in that. He did it for you. He did it for me. He did that so that we could be perfect, entire, and wanting nothing. For all of us who've accepted Christ, for all of us who have come to that joy, we have that assurance right now. We have that promise right now that we can go from the dark to the light. And our life, it can, and it absolutely will improve. It is the promise of God. For all who have not come to that place, for all who are riding the fence, or they just denied it, or they don't accept it, why would you wait? Why would you wait? The answer is there. And the promise has no expiration date. It's there, waiting. He's waiting. It's all about the little formula: right attitude, knowing the reason, and focusing on the end results. This is the formula for getting out of the dark and into the light. It all goes back to our willingness to learn, to listen, and to never quit. I say this all the time. I write it all the time. If you don't quit, God won't quit. I believe that with all my heart. Going from dark to light. Go back. Study this passage from the book of James. It will really cause you to think. Go back and listen to all of these lessons. All parts are available right here on this Facebook page if you go back and search through. But easier, you can go to YouTube Look my name up. I'll put the link right here in the bottom of this video. And all you got to do is go to my YouTube channel, and every part, and I don't remember how many this one is. This is 5 or 6. Every part of this going from light to dark, dark to light is available. All you got to do is go take a little time and listen to it. And I believe it'll give you something to think about. God bless you. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for giving me just a little portion of your day. Lord willing, we'll be back tomorrow with a brand new lesson, and we'll see what God has for us then. Thank you. Have a great day.